Everybody, we are live. It is a big night in sports. Baseball Talk is my new daily, nightly, evening show. Mondays, we do it over on another channel. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we're here. Fridays, we'll do it now and then. Oh, my goodness, do we have news for you. Tyreek Hill, maybe the best receiver in all of NFL, got traded tonight. Conor McGregor, the biggest name in the history of UFC, gets arrested tonight. Holy cow. And then, of course, information coming in on the Trevor Story, one of the best shortstops in baseball, signing in Boston. Why is that weird? Because they already have one of the best shortstops in baseball. Those are the three main topics we're going to talk about tonight. Mark Brown in the house. How are we all doing? How are you doing, buddy? Michael Superbacker in the house. Michael Superbacker, I hope you're having a great day. If you're watching live, thank you for being here. If you're watching on the replay, thank you for watching on the replay too. I'm glad you're here. Members of the channel like Mark, thank you so much for being here. Let's get right to it. This is a big one. Tyreek Hill. So I guess the news really came out yesterday, right? I'm going to pull up the winners and losers from the Tyreek Hill trade just from NFL.com so we can talk about that. We'll talk about that and just talk it out. I think this is a big deal. I don't know who I'm going to pick in the AFC East at this point. I don't know who I'm going to pick in the AFC West yet. It might rhyme with Chargers. But hey, my mom's house. Everybody say hi to my mom. Be extra nice to her. She's my mama. Tyreek Hill, Devontae Adams. It's a short list on the best wide receiver in all of football. Let's share the screen and talk about this deal. What do they get? Why'd they do it? All those things. I'm intrigued for a couple of reasons. He had a chance. Tyreek Hill, got to pick his team, basically. There was a deal from the Jets, and there was a deal from the Dolphins. The Jets have Zach Wilson, and it's New York. The bright lights in New York. Miami has Tua Tagovailoa. I don't believe in Tua. I like the man. He's a neat young boy, neat young man. I don't mean to call him a boy. He's a neat young man. I'm a fan of human. The quarterback throws the ball like I punt the ball. I've said that a lot. I thought that at Alabama. I think that now. I don't know why, if you're a receiver, you'd want to go there. I really don't. It doesn't make any sense to me. Mark saying hi to my mama. Love it. Love it. This is a monster deal for the league. Now, in the AFC West, I said something a couple weeks ago. If Aaron Rodgers went to Denver, I said a few weeks back, I might pick Kansas City to come in last because I like the Raiders, what they did. I love the Chargers, what they did, right? And that would increase Denver. So Aaron Rodgers signs in Green Bay. I don't think anything's going to happen in Denver. Boom, Russell Wilson ends up in Denver. I've seen people picking Denver to win the AFC West now. I'm going to go with the Chargers likely. It's way too early for these picks, right? It's way too early. But the Chargers and the Broncos could easily make the playoffs. Raiders and maybe the Chiefs falling short. I think the Chiefs might be my pick for last place. Let's talk about this. Let me look at that. They acquire wide receiver Tyreek Hill, and then they sign him to a 4-year, $120 million contract. He wanted out. So there's two things. He asked for a trade yesterday, but here's the thing. So my good buddy, Kelly, who is a co-host of the Inside the Huddle over on Pete McDevitt's channel. We do that show every Thursday night. Please go check that out. Kelly's a big KC fan. I'm a big San Diego, now LA fan, right? I'm from the San Diego area. I was born in LA, so I root for the Chargers, even though I live in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Okay. All of that to say, I said when the Chiefs signed Mahomes 2 years ago to that monster contract that the window shrunk. The window do you like my noise? The window shrunk. Somebody, I need that noise. The window shrunk because Patrick Mahomes is getting paid so dang much. There's not going to be enough to sign the next couple guys. And I think the first shoe has fallen. I think the window ended last year for KC. I really, really do. Mahomes is going to be there, and he's going to be an albatross on the franchise because of that contract. I believe that. I believe that wholeheartedly. One of the things that Brady brought to New England for all those years was he wasn't the highest paid player in the league. He was the best player in the league. He was the most valuable player in the league, but he wasn't taking the dollars that he could have taken because he wanted to win. Now, he made plenty of money too, obviously, but he took a cut so as to allow for the team, Belichick, to keep that roster fire, right? Mahomes isn't going to allow for that. That's going to happen in Green Bay in a couple of years. That's what I like about Dallas. Dallas, Mark says, I wish Dallas got Hill. I like our receivers, but I mean, who wouldn't want Tyreek Hill, right? Have you seen the video? There's a video of Usain Bolt running in the Olympics. He wins the gold medal. And then there's a line where Tyreek Hill would have been. Tyreek Hill, when he ran in high school, ran fast enough that he would have been at the top of the 200 meter. I think it was 200 meter, might have been 100 meter. Olympians. That's how fast Tyreek is. Hey, Cricket, how are you, my friend? So all of this to say, huge deal for Miami. And we'll talk about that in a minute. But I think it really hurts KC. Now, let's be real. They got a lot of draft picks. So there's going to be some value there. It was a lot to hope that maybe one day could go to the NFL without another blockbuster move dominating the headline, says NFL.com. Kansas City Chiefs decided they couldn't work out a contract extension with Pro Bowl wide receiver Tyreek Hill. Interesting, right? Mark, you ask why. The Dolphins make the trade and sign him to a 4-year big old contract that we'll talk about here in a minute. The Chiefs could have had him for that number 2, obviously. Before we knew it, a bidding war ensued, and the Chiefs ultimately sending Hill to Miami for 5 draft picks. It was a first, a second, and a 4th this year. Hill wound up becoming the highest paid receiver in the league, a deal worth $120 million over 4 years. Most importantly, $72.2 million guaranteed. So until a few years ago, most football contracts weren't guaranteed, but the players have figured it out. The agents have figured it out. 72 million guaranteed is the real number to look at. You can say 4 and 120 and that's fine, but 72 million he's getting paid, whether he gets cut or traded or whatever. And all this happened less than a week after Devontae Adams briefly held that title. He was the highest paid quarterback in the league for about 4 minutes. I'm not going to read the whole article, but the deal makes sense for the Dolphins because they needed a dominant receiver. Boy, do they. They also signed their lineman today to help Tua. Tunga Vailoa is their stud. Well, but I don't believe in him. It works for the Chiefs because they've already handed out an assortment of massive contracts over the last couple of years, and money drives up sooner or later. Exactly. One team got the better in the short term. The other is hoping to use all those picks to help restock a roster that includes Mahomes. If you weren't going to keep Hill, and obviously they made that decision that they couldn't pay him, I guess it's a great trade for KC. But let's be real. Tyreek Hill is a difference maker. Anyway, those are some of the obvious takeaways. Blah, 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 blah. What do you think? Let me know in the chat. Do you love this trade for KC? I think it's I believe it's my poll. Do you like this trade for KC? They certainly get a lot of draft picks. I do like it in the long term for KC. Do you like this for Miami? I do. I still think the problem is Tua is still their quarterback. I just don't believe in Tua. I don't. But I like what they're doing. I will say this. I like Miami's roster. I don't like Tua, but I like their roster. They've added a lot of talent. They're going to be a force in the AFC East. They really, really are. Will they be able to compete with the Bills? I don't think so, but that's more about the Bills being pretty freaking elite. But back to the AFC West, I'm not going to lie. I'm a homer. I'm a Chargers fan. I grew up in San Diego. I was born in LA. I got no problem with the move from San Diego to LA. I'm a Chargers fan. I'm a Cowboys fan because I live in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, but I'm a Chargers fan. I've always been and I always will be. I think the Chargers are even more likely to be favorites in the AFC West now, which excites me. Let me get caught up in chat. What did they trade for him? Those 5 draft picks. Mark asked, what did they trade for him? Including that first round pick. So I think this year, a first, a second, a fourth, and then a couple more picks next year. Hey, Greg, John in the house. What's going on, buddy? Glad to see you back in here. Crew it up in the house. What's going on, my man? Hope you're having a great day. Hey, Mar, how are you? New member of the channel, by the way. They show up in green. They have access to some emojis, and I love the Lightning McQueen. I didn't know Matt Ryan went to the Colts. Yes, he did. Matt Ryan. We talked about that a little bit. Was that last night? Matt Ryan. It was a very cute video today. Excuse me, guys. I got a little tickle in my throat again. Matt Ryan brought his 2 kids. They must be twins to the press conference, and they were showing him his locker, and it was very, very cool. I like it a lot. I like Indy's roster a lot. Obviously, you got Jonathan Taylor in that great offensive line. Matt Ryan still got some playing to do, in my opinion. I like this. I'm a big Phillip Rivers fan. That's Phillip Rivers. Can you tell? Probably can't tell. That's Phillip Rivers, little mini helmet. I'm a big Phillip Rivers fan. I was surprised that he retired only after 1 year with them. Never liked Wentz. Thought that was an overshoot on the Colts. Look, think about that. They had Andrew Luck, right? And then they've had Jacoby Brissett, right? Brissett twice, I think. Some random guy, Phillip Rivers, Carson Wentz, and now Matt Ryan. Now, I think Matt Ryan's going to be there for a couple years. I really like this. He's not a young man, but he's still good. Crude Up says Chargers for life, dude. Bud. Amen. I love it. I've got my Chargers hat on the wall. I should put it on for the show. I never think about it. I think, according to Mark, I think KC spent way too much on Patrick. I agree. And PCs are falling. Miami got best of this trade. It's hard for me to decide. I'll probably, here's the truth. For 2022 football season, obviously Miami wins. And they're going all in. And I guess they think they can catch the Bills. Because of Tua being somebody I don't believe in, I don't think they're going to win long term. So long term, I think KC is going to win this trade. So I guess I agree with you, Mark. So that's a bummer being a Chargers fan. But short term, I'm just looking at next year. I got to be real. I just want the Chargers to in the playoffs. I want the Chargers to win the AFC West. And I think that's more likely next year. Now, if I want to be long term about it, KC's going to win this trade probably. But that's more about Tua, me not believing in Tua. I will say this. Tua, if he doesn't have a good year, which I don't expect him to have a good year, they could easily have a new quarterback. I thought if Deshaun Watson went down there, that would have been interesting. Do you see Odell Beckham throwing a little interest in going back to Cleveland because now the Deshaun Watson's out there? Our defense does look solid. I love what the Chargers have done this offseason. I love the Chargers roster. I think that defense is amazing. Is Tyrann Mathieu still out there? I want him. Not that we have a need there. I just want him. I've always loved the Honey Badger. I think he's still out there. Just glad he's not in KC anymore. Just waiting for baseball season to start. Amen to that, Cricket Man. I am so excited. I had a fairly busy work day. I worked from home again today, but a fairly busy work day. And I saw that the Dodger game was on Major League Baseball TV today, and it took everything I had to not turn it on because I had pension stuff to do. You know what a boring work day is? A sucking the soul of life out of your day, dealing with a pension. Ugh. Didn't have fun, but hey, employees deserve to be taken care of. But it is what it is. I think we saved some money though, so that's good too. My people are going to win, and we're going to save a little money, so that's good. But anyway, Lightning McQueen is my character. I know, and I love it, Mar. I love it. I've got my. Do I have mine? Yes, right above my head. I've got my. It's hard to point on the. I don't. You know what I'm saying. I'm following cricket tonight. I love it. Miami needs a new quarterback. I think so, Nico. I really do. I know they drafted to a high. They seem to believe it. I will say this. I think I said it a little bit earlier. I really like what the Dolphins have been doing. I just don't like Tua. They picked up another offensive lineman starter today. There's a lot of talent on that roster. I've got a neighbor who just moved in, which I'm excited. I haven't met him yet, but they've got dogs. And so the whole neighborhood is a dog attack today. It's freaking me out a little bit. Anyway, I wonder if Odell is just bored at times. Yeah, I think Cricket, you're right. I think he just likes to see himself in the news. I'm grateful someone worked out a pension for me. Oh, amen. Right. Yeah. I've got a very key employee who retires. I guess it's at the end of May. We got a daughter eyes across her to make sure that's not what it's about though. But anyway, it's always good stuff. Listen, we also have big news. Let's move off of football for a little bit. Conor McGregor. Did you see this? Let me pull it up. Conor McGregor, not a, how do you say this? He's a seasoned citizen when it comes to being arrested. Is that a fair way to say that? Fox News. We'll go to Fox News because that's where the first one that popped up on my screen. Let's share it. Let's read it. Let's talk about it. Conor McGregor. Now oh, come on.
Closer to our risen Savior. Join us for
okay. I like the ad, but I don't really want an ad right there. I got to figure out a way to not have the audio pop up on all that. Conor McGregor arrested for dangerous driving. Bentley briefly seized. Goal in life to get my Bentley seized. McGregor has a history of driving offenses and run-ins with the law. UFC star Conor McGregor was arrested Tuesday on suspicion of dangerous driving in Ireland, according to multiple reports. He's 33 years old. He was driving his Bentley Continental GT, which of course you have to tell everyone what it's worth, $185,000. 100,000 simoleons. That's more simoleons than I have. Yeah. Yeah. That's like half of my freaking house. 180. Yeah. It's more. That's more than half of my. I mean, I don't know. I didn't look at I'm pretty sure that's more than half of my house. Are you kidding me? Anyway, when he was stopped by police in Dublin, the Irish, I mean, if you got to be stopped, Dublin's the place to be. The Irish Independent reported the vehicle was seized by authorities for a short time following a traffic stop for alleged road traffic violations. How many road traffic violations do you have for them to take your car? Mr. McGregor was driving to the gym when he was stopped by Gardal. I don't know what that is. I should have just kept reading, the National Police Service of Ireland for alleged road traffic violations. He passed the drug and alcohol test taken at the station. McGregor was reportedly charged with dangerous driving, which could see a maximum punishment of 6 years in prison and a fine. He's got the money. Who cares about the fine? 6 years in prison. Police did not release Conor's name, saying that the arrested man was in his 30s in connection to an incident, blah, blah, blah. The man was taken to the station where he was later charged. He has been released pending an appearance before the district court at a later date. He has a history of driving offenses and run-ins with the law over the years. In 2017, he was fined by the same court for speeding. In 2018, of course, he threw a dolly, not rub-a-dub dolly, but one of those dollies that you use to move stuff. Rub-a-dub dolly. Bet you didn't know I was going to sing that song tonight. Not rub-a-dub dolly, the actual dolly where you carry out, what do you carry out? I don't know, luggage and, I don't know, drawers, file cabinets, whatever. He took the dolly and he threw it at the bus, hitting right where Rose Namajunas, champion, and scared the poo out of her. Conor McGregor, arrested again today, could get up to 6 years. We'll see. We'll see. They impounded his Bentley. Apparently, he's got it back already. I think at some point you got to stop being an idiot, right? Like, I'm a huge Conor fan. I'm a huge fan of Conor in the ring. I'm a huge fan of Conor as a inspirational figure, but as a human being, Dodo, stop it. He punched an old guy in a bar, right? He bought the bar so the guy couldn't be a regular there anymore. Lots of rumors about bad behavior around women, which I don't want to believe, right? He seems happily married. His wife seems to be happy with him. So, but this guy driving and punching people in the face, you need to grow up a little bit, Conor. I'm a huge fan, but he needs to grow up. A seasoned arrestee. That's right. Which is a great punk band. Seasoned arrestee. I think they're going to be at Lollapalooza later this year. Was he a naughty boy again? Yes, he was. Cricket Adventures with VP. How are you, buddy? Long time no see. Hope you're having a great spring. As Dolphins fan, that's right. He's down there in Florida, so that makes sense. As a Dolphins fan since 1986. Oh, I have been abused for years, and I'm finally looking forward to this year. Good for you with all these moves. How to get rid of Tua and get a quarterback that can throw half the. Veteran with VP, I could not agree more. I'm not surprised. You're a good friend, and I like the way you think, and I agree with that. Could Tua make it? Yeah. I don't believe in him. I haven't since what was that? The Sugar Bowl, that first game when he took over for Jalen Hurts. Boy, I couldn't hurt. Was it Hurts? I think it was Hurts. Yeah. Anyway, he throws the ball and it looks like a bad punt. I don't believe in him at all. Was he driving on the right side or wrong side of the road? I don't know. They just said reckless driving. I think it was speed. Conor is a real life WWE personality. I've never been into that fake wrestling stuff. I've got a bunch of my friends. Matter of fact, if I made a list of my 10 best friends in life, probably 6 or 7 of them are into that fake wrestling. I'm not. I like real combat. I like the UFC very much. Been in a couple of fights. I was there when Quentin Jackson knocked out Chuck Liddell in Vegas. I watched John Jones' last fight before he won the title. It was in San Diego. A couple other fights I saw, some other fights I got to see Uriah Faber, and been blessed to go to a couple. Oh, thank you, Mark Brown. Your channel is fun. Oh, Mark, you're fun, and I appreciate it. $4.99 super chat from my buddy Mark Brown, who is a member of the channel. Thank you, Mark. I always say it means a lot that the support. Thank you, Mark. I appreciate it so much. Means a lot. Means a lot. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'm so glad you're a part of this community over here. Anyway, I love the UFC. I don't like that fake wrestling stuff at all. But Conor has definitely taken the marketing from the WWE and their World Wrestling and brought it to the UFC. I'm not a Vince McMahon product fan, but I am a Vince McMahon businessman fan. I've told the story a few times. I don't know him. I've never met him. I've never spoke to him, but I sat one row behind him at a Boys and Girls Club event once. Him and the whole row, it was him and a bunch of very beautiful blonde women who were clearly had a good surgeon. And it was amazing. And he was very nice. Again, I didn't get to talk to him. I mean, I think we might have said hi, but he was getting inundated by people, but I just happened to be in the second row. He was in the first row. And it was at the Boys and Girls Clubs of America Hall of Fame celebration 4 or 5 years ago. Those are always really fun events. Anyway, he was being inducted into the Boys and Girls Club of America Hall of Fame. And he was very, very nice guy. And he gave a very inspiring speech. But I don't like the sport. And I don't even think it's a sport. I'm not a big fake wrestling guy, but I love the real stuff. When I was a kid, I liked boxing. I got to see Oscar De La Hoya fight, also in San Diego. Also, the last fight before he became a world champion. Obviously, he was already an Olympic champion. And I got to see Terry Norris fight and all those things. So I've always been into the combat sports. Conor has always been the most electric of them. I'm a big fan of him, but not the human being, which I feel like a putz saying, but it is what it is. I mean, I'm sure, we all have our demons. Nobody's perfect. And he's living a life out loud, which I will love, but he's in the public eye. But come on, slow down. Don't drive reckless. I might be driving on the road with my daughter or my granddaughter someday. Anyway, I appreciate you. Thank you, Mark. Mark, I appreciate you, buddy. I hope my thank yous are genuine. It really does mean a lot. Yeah, that's what I meant. Conor lives real life. Yeah, exactly. Real life auto correct. So there you go. Where are we at? We're about 22 minutes in. So Tyreek Hill traded from KC to Miami for 5 draft picks, including a first rounder. Conor McGregor arrested in Dublin, Ireland, and had his Bentley, at least for a time, impounded, I guess is the word. Could get up to 6 years in prison. That's a big deal. And then the third story of the night that I want to talk about is in baseball. I was interested in the Trevor Story story for a few reasons. Trevor Story being one of the best shortstops in a very good shortstop class, to be free agents this year. I didn't know where he was going to go. I live in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. I thought he might come to Texas. Why? He's got family. He grew up in Irving, Texas, right down the road. Fit. They need a bat. He would work well here. It just made sense. But then right before the lockout, the Rangers signed, 2 shortstops, frankly. Corey Seager to play shortstop and Marcus Semien, a shortstop, to go play second. It made less and less sense that Trevor Story was going to sign here. And then we had the lockout. The lockout ends, and all of a sudden there was rumors that Trevor Story's going to come here to Texas. A lot of the shortstop spots were getting taken. People were saying there was some buzz about Boston, but I didn't believe it at all. Why? Xander freaking Bogaerts. He's a stud now. He's only got 1 year left on his contract. So if you're Trevor Story and you want to come to Boston, who are you worried about? Well, you're probably worried about Xander Bogaerts. But what happened? Trevor Story told the story today. Xander Bogaerts called Trevor. They talked on the phone, and Xander said, "Come on, let's just worry about this year. Let's win this year. Come play in Boston with me." So Trevor says, "Yes, please." He's going to play second for at least this year. Xander stays at short. And then we see what happens. If Xander wants to resign with Boston, he does. If he goes on his merry way and gets paid somewhere else, Trevor moves over to shortstop. That's a cool story. I say it a lot. I say it on this show. I'm almost always on the player side. I was definitely on the player side for this lockout. I think that I despise, honestly, the silliness that is players get paid so much they should just shut up. I hate that. When Chris Bryant signed with Colorado, what did he say? He talked about his wife and his kids and how he worked his whole life. I said this last night. He worked his whole life to be able to do this. What's this? Sign a big contract? No, he already signed a big contract. Pick where he gets to play. Pick where him and his family get to live. And so that's I think it's beautiful. I think that's one of the things why I really don't like the way baseball does what they do, keeping players locked up for just way too long, just way too long. I gotta write down myself a note so I don't forget. So that's how I feel about that. I was happy for Trevor Story. I don't know if it was always his dream to play in Boston or what, but Xander Bogaerts, that phone call to Trevor, it just makes sense. Trevor could learn heaps from Xander. Totally agree. Xander Bogaerts is the real deal. They're both the real deal. So, like in Texas, we've got Corey Seager and Marcus Semien. I think that's the best up the middle we have in Major League Baseball, right? But Dodgers have Trey Turner and maybe Max Muncy. That'll be pretty good too. But now in Boston, they've got Bogaerts and Story. Woo! That's amazing. Correa and Altuve were like that a few years ago. Correa's now obviously in Minnesota, and who knows what happens in Houston. That should be interesting. So our main stories tonight, the things we've talked about tonight are threefold, I guess. Is that the way to say that? Threefold. Let's start with Conor McGregor getting arrested in Dublin, Ireland. Could get up to 6 years for reckless driving. Not the first time he's been arrested. Not even the first time he'll be in that courtroom is it arraigned there? Tyreek Hill, huge trade. Gets traded from KC to Miami. I think it's huge for this year, just this year, 2022. I think it really hurts KC. Long term, I love it for KC. And I think it really gives Miami a shot. If Tua can be 60% of the quarterback Miami hopes that he can be, they've got a shot. They've got a better offensive line. I like the roster a lot. So that'll be interesting. And then long-term, obviously, KC gets a lot of draft picks. It won't be the first big star that KC doesn't get to sign. I'm looking at that tight end. But we shall see. We'll see down the road. But they got all those draft picks so they can reload even if they lose them all but Mahomes. So I love it for that long term. But for next year, it helps my Chargers. Conor gets arrested, like I said, and then Trevor Story kind of revolves around Xander Bogaerts in that phone call. And I think that's a really cool story. Before we go tonight, please, we've got another show for you tonight. 10 o'clock my time, 11 o'clock Eastern time, other o'clocks, other places, depending on where you live. Oscars preview show. We're going to talk about the best picture, best actor, supporting actor, best actress, supporting actress, animated movie, score, best song. I don't think I forgot anything. And I've got some guests coming on. Ken, the content coach, Mark will be on. Kelly from the Mickey Bunch said she'd pop in for a little bit. I've got a couple people that are maybes. Movie Mania Nick will be on. I don't think Rob's gonna be able to make it, but he's invited. We'll see. Come by, check it out. It should be a lot of fun if you're into the movies at all. Very, very honest. Hey, Anna, how are you? Very, very honestly, I love movies. I've got some movie posters on my wall right there. I've got a bunch of movie posters in that. I could make this whole room movie posters. I love movies. I don't really love the Oscars, to be very, very real with you. They've been annoying me. I like lists. I like award shows. I don't like what. That's not true. I like to see who won. I like having the awards. I don't like the award shows. And I hate how political they've been. Interesting. Wanda Sykes will be the MC or host or whatever this year. She's already said expect a non-sober, I think is how she said it, Wanda. She's also promised that she's going to try to steal an Oscar. So we'll see. She's pretty funny. I'm not going to promise I'm even going to watch the show, but I am interested to see who wins. So animated feature, best movie, musical score, best picture, actor, actress, supporting actor, supporting actress. I think those are all of them. Yeah, I think that's it. So that'll be 10 o'clock my time, 11 o'clock Eastern time. Cricket, you're always welcome. You're always welcome. Vince McMahon and I share the same alma mater. Really, Nico? That's very cool. Again, as a businessman, I'm such a fan. I just like his business. I'm peeling and cutting up a few mangoes, but still here. Yum. You making a little salad, little cocktail? What's going on? I need to know. I think that's it. You don't have to go, but you can't stay here. Have fun storming the castle time. I think we're done. Conor gets arrested. Tyreek gets traded from KC to Miami. Xander Bogaerts basically says, come on, Trevor, come on down. Those are the three main stories. I've got some other little stories, but I think we're a half hour in. I think that's good enough for tonight. 7 o'clock my time, 8 o'clock Eastern time. That's when we're going to do what we're calling Batesball tonight. We're going to be talking sports. Mondays, we're over on a different channel. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, we're here. Thursday night, we're also on Inside the Huddle over on Pete McDevitt's channel, right? Creator Talk Live on Sunday nights. Tonight, we've got the Oscars preview show. It'll be me and my guests who they would pick to win, not who we're predicting is going to be the winner, who we would pick to win. If you're interested in that at all, 10 o'clock my time, 11 o'clock Eastern time, other o'clocks, other places, depending on where you live. Thank you, Mark. I appreciate it. I appreciate you. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you to my members. Thank you, Anna. I haven't seen in a while. Thank you, VP, for popping in. Thank you, Nico. Thank you, a lot of the regular faces. I love you guys. I mean that. I hope that doesn't sound creepy, but you guys make this fun. You really do. I'll see you tonight, 10 o'clock my time, 11 o'clock Eastern time. I feel like I'm forgetting something. You don't have to go, but you can't stay here. Have fun with the castle. I'll see you tonight. Bye for now. Oscar show tonight, couple hours.